Thank you for joining us today. I am Amy Marquez. I am the Vice President of Programs, Services, and Events. And today I have the privilege of introducing to you Kevin McConic. Kevin is the Regional Chief Diversity Officer for Covenant Health. Kevin will serve as our moderator for our upcoming session on March 30th, Overcoming Unconscious Bias in the Workplace. So Kevin, welcome. Thank you for being here today. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. Thank you for allowing me to be here and choosing me to be the moderator for this session. I think it's wonderful. As you said, Amy, I am the Chief Diversity Officer for Covenant Health here in Lubbock, Texas, and for Texas and New Mexico, and just recently came into that role in December. Excited about the opportunities we have at Covenant to be a partner and leader in our community, not only internally but externally, trying to really live into this idea of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And so I think we have a unique opportunity in our community to partner with folks, entities like the Lubbock Chamber, and we're excited about that opportunity.
Well, we're excited that you agreed to be our moderator. So since our session will be on March 30th at 10 a.m., tell us about your panel and a few of the topics that you'll be covering.
Yeah, absolutely. In our session on March 30th, we're really going to focus in on unconscious bias and what that looks like in the workplace. The reality is all of us have biases, and all of us really live with those unconscious biases, and we're built that way. We're built to have those biases. It allows us to have shortcuts in our minds, so we don't have to cognitively think about everything that goes through our mind, and so it helps us get through decisions a whole lot quicker. So in a lot of ways, the bias is really good, that unconscious bias. When we think about in the workplace what bias looks like and how it shows up, what we really want to think about is not so much can we eliminate biases, but it's more about can we take that yield sign or that stop sign and just hold up just a minute and think about, are my biases showing up in a way that's going to cause discrimination? Is it showing up in a way that's going to cause us to have unfair hiring practices because of my own preferences? Or and there's a lot of different kinds of biases that we have, and so we really want to really talk about those and talk about how they show up and how they can have a negative impact on individual experiences and on our workplace in general. And so that's really important. So we'll talk about that. Initially, I'll really do some initial conversation about bias and different kinds of biases and how they show up. And then we're going to have a panel. We're going to have a really great panel that involves three wonderful community members. The first one is Beth Bridges. Beth Bridges is at South Plains Mall. She's a wonderful community member and supporter. Absolutely. And does a lot of great things in our community. And we think she's going to bring great perspective to what we're doing. We're also going to have Cory Powell, which I know a lot of people are familiar with. Cory Powell is at Texas Tech University, and he does a lot of great works, a former chair for the chamber, obviously, and really a strong advocate and voice in our community. And then we'll have Dr. Feruzan Williams, who's also at Texas Tech University. She's in the college, the Rawls College of Business there, and we really expect a great conversation. We're going to dive into some really great questions for them that we'll have for them, and I'm sure they'll give us some wonderful insight and examples to help us really navigate through really what bias is. At the end of the day, I'd like for us to really understand that bias is not a bad thing per se all the time. It's just we really do need to think about how it shows up for us in the workplace and with others. And so that's really what we want to do. We want to really be able to help people recognize it's okay that we have biases.
Absolutely.
It's okay that those are present. But what's not okay is when we can't take a step back and think about how those biases impact other people.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be exciting. I can't wait. Yeah. It's going to be exciting to have our panelists and you leading them. And so we look forward to seeing all of you on March 30th for Overcoming Unconscious Bias in the Workplace. Thank you.